Dukes of Weebdom!
Dukes of Weebdom!
Episode 99.
I have a sad realization, because I was thinking about our intro. It's like, we're pretty much, Wayne's World.
Why is that sad, though? Wayne's World's
It's not sad.
No,
It's not
okay.
sad. Wayne's World's awesome.
I thought you were trying to say it was a poor realization.
No, it was just like an association I finally made. I feel like 99 episodes is a long time to have that.
Fuck it.
Because we even did the... That's literally Wayne's World.
We did start doing it. We did that at first, yeah.
Yep.
That is literally just Wayne's World.
Welcome to the Dukes of Weebdom.
What's this Dukes of Weebdom? Episode 99, one shy of the
big hundo.
The triple digits.
Yes.
Coming in hot.
I was going to say like the new decade. I was actually going to say decade, not even year.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, bad.
Oof.
No,
just 2 years.
Hey, it's fucking good.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do anything special or not. I mean, I had thrown some ideas at you.
Yeah.
But we'll see what
Like
happens.
that's a really hard one though.
It is. I don't know, because like I don't want to be like cheesy or it's like, oh, we need to like force it, and then it just comes out bad because we tried to force.
I said again. We blew our load too fast doing top tens. It's just so fun.
Well, I think we kind of did too, because I think
episode 5 was the top 10.
I think so too. But what I was trying to get at is I think that because we only gave ourselves a week notice, be like, you know what, next week we're gonna do our top 10 favorite animes, and then we had a week to plan for that.
Yeah, and then same with
top 10 fights.
And I swear we did another one. Games.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now my games list is just probably not going to change anytime
I don't
soon.
think mine's is going to change either, to be honest.
I mean, actually,
I really like PoE too. Yeah, we're already qualifying it.
I would say maybe the Monster Hunter section would change because I'd supplement maybe World for Wilds most likely.
If Silk Song ever comes out, I'll have more.
But I feel like if I went back and looked at top 10 anime and then top 10 fights, I think that maybe some things might change a little bit. Maybe some moving around. Maybe something would get bumped down to like 11 and put something else.
I'm pretty sure by the time we were
something.
done with the fights list, I was already thinking of fights that I forgot about.
Yeah, fights the hard thing too, because it's like when you're thinking about it, it's like I really like this fight just visually. It's just awesome. But I couldn't give two fucks about why it's happening. But then this fight over here,
I care everything about why it's happening, and it's not even pretty.
And it's hype as shit. But yeah, because like if you wanted to put, because our top 10 fights were our top 10 fights,
yes,
not the top 10 fights, because then it would just be fucking
Kakashi versus Obito.
It would be just like all like
Ulquiorra
JJK
versus fucking Ichigo, and yeah, like 5 JJK fights.
Specifically from Bleach, the Hellverse movie.
I actually haven't even seen it. I'm not gonna lie.
I own it on DVD, but no, because
you've recommended it ever since it came out, and I just still haven't seen it.
The opening 3 minutes or whatever is like a super fast-paced go version of the Hollow-Fied Ichigo Vasta Lorde versus Urukula.
Ooh.
It's in movie.
Which again, already like the best fight in Bleach. I'm just gonna say it, not including this new 1,000 Year Blood War arc, because the animation quality difference alone is insurmountable. But as far as OG Bleach,
Byakuya versus Ichigo is still hype as fuck.
And then the other one I'd call out would be Grimmjow versus Ichigo, because the animation quality literally goes up.
Yeah.
Like, there's more frames. Like, they got...
Really, all 3 fights, too. Because you can't call the first one a fight. That's literally just Grimmjow walking in and fucking hitting a punching bag.
But then again, the frames, like, the literal frame count went up. It turned into, like, the beginning of a JJK fight.
Not even that, just the
the movements, the smile.
The visual, just the overall quality of animation on Grimmjow when you first see him come into there is just, like, top notch.
I almost want to guess what animator it was, not by name, but by other work, because I feel like they called in a guest animator that probably made his name off that fucking scene and took that forward, because that's how it happens a lot.
Megumi Ishitane.
Like the guy who made the best FMA fights has like you could track his career to like a director now, like an animation director. I'm pretty sure he went from FMA to Mob Psycho to like. So I bet it's the same sort of deal. I bet they found a really banger person to come on and do that Grimjow fight, and that's why it looks so much better than like a lot of them.
I'm like so amped and hyped for the final part of Bleach too. The core 4 of 1,000 Year Blood War.
Did Kubo ever come back and do more manga after dropping that
one shot?
Yeah.
The Hell chapter? No. But I
feel like if he would, it's going to be after 1,000 Year Blood War.
Same because he's heavily involved in it.
And because he knows marketing. Like, he's a smart guy when it comes to that. He dropped that chapter, then 1,000 Year Blood War remake starts coming out. Like, he almost tested the waters for how much love there is for Bleach first. He knows what he's doing. Like,
yeah.
Well, hell, he knows. He has his own fucking
club inside,
fan club. Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, story beat-wise, like, you look at what's left in the manga, and you're like, this is going to take up 13 episodes? You got, like, 4 episodes worth of content left in the anime, in the manga. So I'm like, give me that juicy extra. That extra good. Because we've got every season, every core, we've gotten something that just, like, was just not in the manga.
Yeah. Which is what everyone was hoping for, too. They're literally
fight.
meeting that expectation now.
Yeah. So it's fucking rock on. Yeah, it's really good, dude.
Go watch that whole one little season just for that little wager.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And now I'm not caught up to Blue Lock anymore, so.
Yeah. And you also still have the Kaguya-sama.
I watched the whole season, but I didn't pay enough attention. I feel like I fell asleep towards the end.
Oh, no.
Which is not fair. I was actually enjoying it. I might just rewatch the whole fucking thing.
It's so funny. It's hilarious.
Because that's the thing with the romance, too. You really can't fucking just miss an episode. I feel like I would have a better time missing a DBZ fight watching DBZ than I would missing a plot advancement in a romance anime.
Agreed.
Because that's all of the catharsis. That's all of the good juices is those tiny little steps that get closer.
For real.
It's like depriving myself of the dopamine of the show. So yeah, I'll circle back for Kaguya. I think Vinland Saga was the last part of that deal, which went so stunningly beautiful. We went straight
I don't think it was
2.
because maybe because you and your partner are watching it and you guys fucking hamming on it. Just without me needing to say anything, yeah. I'm really glad you guys liked season 2 because a lot of people didn't understand what the story of Vinland Saga really is.
It does help that I already had like little inklings of that fact. Like I heard like interviews, it's a story about pacifism, things like that, and that the farm arc would happen, not in like huge detail, but people saying it, the foreboding people that are like, oh no. And to be honest, that's what I want from a story. I think I said I don't know if I said about AI on our episode, but I've said it in general recently that, like, good art should reflect something about being human. Should reflect about the human experience in some way. Whether it's politics, whether it's how people act.
Yeah.
And that's Vinland Saga.
Good fights don't make an anime. If that's the case, Demon Slayer would indeed be the best anime.
But what's funny, too? Not. What was one of the biggest things that made Demon Slayer stand out was those sad little, like, backstories after the demons die. Everyone was eating that shit up. The human part of the story.
Yeah. Because I was watching Demon Slayer from episode 1. I was like, why aren't people watching this? And then episode 18 happened with the Hinikami Kamina, and everyone flipped out. And I think what really pushed over the edge, one is the big coof. Everyone was inside. But Ninja, the Fortnite streamer, he watched it, and he said it on stream to all of those fucking
impressionable youths
that watch him that, it's the best anime ever, I think is what he said. So mad people, they watched it, and then they told all their friends, and they told all their friends, and it just
but to be fair, people said about Naruto in our day.
Yeah.
You know
Naruto blew up in popularity in the Kuf during the big COV
I was thinking the housing crash of the United States.
Oh no, the goof.
But I bet like their original blow up, like when we were kids, that was the best anime ever too, and it wasn't, but it was.
It's definitely It's probably Naruto might still be the most popular anime in the West. I mean, maybe you could say JJK or Demon Slayer
Or Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah, or Dragon Ball, but
we're talking sheer popularity. But I mean, it's not like that far ahead of Naruto. Naruto's pretty. I feel like just as synonymous as DBZ. The only difference is not every old person knows about Naruto, but every old person that had a kid that's into DBZ knows DBZ exists.
Yeah. Dragon Ball is just fucking...
What you doing, son? Watching Journey to the West? Go away, Dad.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, there is, like, a lot to love from Demon Slayer. Like, it's not to take away from it.
Oh,
either.
no.
Like, I even thought, like, the sad backstories. I was like, aw, he's such, like, a kind protagonist. Like, yeah, every shonen protagonist
you guys are caught up to that now, too.
Yes. I'm still very proud of my fucking really corny title I had for that episode, but I'm not even going to repeat it.
Now you're gonna.
No, I was like splicing Star Wars titles with Muzan. Oh, but then the one I'm actually proud of, Conquering the Sun.
Yes.
Yes.
The spoiler I held from you for so long.
Yes.
I danced around that for so long.
Somehow 13 different people all looked at Nezuko and had the exact same thought in their brain. She conquered the sun. In those exact words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we're not going to explain how she did
maybe
it.
I'm going to take a little bit away from Demon Slayer.
Whatever. It's still good fun. I mean, Ufotable's doing great work with it.
But I don't want to watch 3 movies. I really don't want to watch 3 fucking movies.
I don't want to wait for 3 movies.
I don't want to sit for 3 movies. Can we just get like 1 to 3 hour movie? I swear to God, if each of these are 1 hour long, I'm going to be furious. Dude.
Oh, me too.
We'll be livid. And
they can't be, though. Because this is the longest arc in the manga. You can't do fucking, you know what I mean? I would, but at the same time, they're fights. So it's the fucking Cullen Games situation, because it's like, since the start of the Gojo Sukuna fight to the end of the series, how many episodes do you think that would be?
From the start of the Gojo Sukuna fight?
Yeah, all the way to the end. Well, to the end, to when Sukuna is defeated.
Okay, I actually need one qualifier first. Are we going to do all of the narrating, or are we going to do it like the anime does it without all of the narrating? Without all of the... It's
valid.
If every text box they had in the Sukuna Gojo fight had to be narrated, they'd be long. But they probably won't do that. They didn't do it with Season 2. They didn't do it with Season 1. They literally had a hard rule not to do it with Season 1. So, if the anime keeps going the way it's going...
Think that's 1 season?
I think that's like 6 episodes. I literally think Gojo versus Sukuna alone is 1, maybe 2 episodes without all of that fucking dialogue. Which is all narration. It's not them talking. It literally comes out of nowhere to be like, Gojo suddenly whipped out this new kind of anti-barrier domain technique out of nowhere. No, it's not Hollow Wicker Basket.
I will say, though, that is going to be a hype episode, though.
It is, if they don't put all that narration.
Yeah, well, fuck Jogo versus Sukuna.
Literally.
This, you know what I mean?
That's what I mean that the anime does it right, because, yeah, if you rip out, like, all of the explanations is what made that fight so wearing to me. If you rip all that out and just have them do the domain clash after domain clash after domain clash, it won't seem silly, because you're in the moment. It's when they're explaining to you how domain clashes work that brings you out of that immersion.
Yeah, but here's the problem, though. Most of the narration of the Gojo Sukuna fight was done by the Peanut Gallery.
That's gonna suck. I swear to God, if they record a Ragnarok this, I'm gonna be livid. Just cut the fat man. Or cut it really, really well, where it like flashes to Yuta starting to explain, but as he's talking, flashes to the thing that's happening.
Yeah, just have them still fighting and just...
And you hear Yuta explaining some stuff.
Exactly.
That's all you need. Just a quick flash to the face. But I swear to God, if it does the Record of Ragnarok thing, where it pans to Yuta, then Hakuri, then fucking Kashimo, the fucking loser that he is, and then Hana, and then fucking... Because that's what Record of Ragnarok's problem was. All of that like commentary was really good in the manga. It literally goes through all these people that are related. That's good in the manga, where I don't get a full visual sound, color environment. But then you watch the anime, and they're having this slideshow fight, and then suddenly it's panning to like 8 fucking people watching it in a row before you get to see more of the fight.
Oof.
I want to reach through the television and be like, who directed this? It's an adaptation, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so, because technically, the final arc is just 4 fights.
That's what I mean. And then, like...
For Demon Slayer, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the 3 upper moons and Muzan. I mean, you could count that fucking, the Kanesen girl.
Yeah.
But it's not really a fight with her. It's just things happening on the side.
She doesn't seem much like a fighter.
Yeah, no, she doesn't fight anyone. But someone goes to take care of her.
It's all going to be the dialogue, but it's also all in Ufotable's hands, how much they bloat it with, like, more content and choreography.
Because there's other small fights, like Zenitsu has a fight with somebody, but it's, like, so quick.
I couldn't see this coming. What a horrible thing to happen to me.
Yeah.
Half sarcasm. I hate Zenitsu still.
Yeah, it's going to suck, dude, for us. Because we hate Zenitsu, and the Zenitsu fans are gonna fucking be glazing him so hard.
Just like, I can even put it so simply, I was never sold. He changed too late. He never sold me on his arc. It could have been slower progression, and I would have believed it. But no, he always came back just as annoying until the sudden moment he has one epiphany from one letter, and he completely turns his mindset around, on top of strategizing while sleepwalking. With his mouth.
Yeah.
And eyes closed.
I hate that.
That really upset me.
It upset me.
He was talking, I almost leaped from my chair to scream at the television. He's like talking to Inosuke plants. I'm like, no! No, they failed to sell me on Zenitsu. It's too late for him. He could kill Muzan right now. I'll just call it an asshole. It won't make it cool to me.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that's how I am on that. But of course he's gonna get a fight. I know he's gonna get a fight. Like, he's there. He's falling so cool in the Infinity Castle. Not to take it away from you Zenitsu fans, it's not your fault if you got sold on his character. It's not me.
Character is shit.
Yeah. Thybon thinks it's your fault.
It is your fault.
Sorry, I just can't like bad things.
Everyone else's fight is just so much better, too.
I bet, because that's the other problem with Zenitsu is, he can be super strong, but he's a quick draw.
Because his fight's like half a chapter, too, so, like...
With that kind of sword style, like, theoretically here, you either miss or you cut them in half in one. Like, it's a one-strike sort of deal. Inosuke, he's spinning and shit, sawing you up and stuff. Like,
and Inosuke is awesome.
And he is awesome. Where's a boarhead? Of course, I was immediately sold on Inosuke's character.
And he's drop dead gorgeous beneath that boarhead.
Yes. The opposite of reindeer, man. I mean, I'll watch them. I'm going to be there. I didn't catch up to Demon Slayer for no reason. But I feel like I did catch up to MHA at one point for no reason because we dropped it. It doesn't ever come up. Attack on Titan comes up more than MHA.
I dropped MHA I finished last season, but like because my wife finished the newest season that came out. She watched that, and like I caught bits and pieces of it, but actually I didn't even finish the last season that I watched. I didn't watch the last like 2 or 3 episodes. But I've seen some stuff. The anime is not finished yet, right? There's still more to animate.
So. I've been that far away from it. I
know the manga's done.
Yeah.
I guess he came out with an extra chapter to like fix the bad
They
ending.
always do. Promise Neverland. Hell, JJK has an epilogue chapter now that I still haven't read.
I actually don't like Promise Neverland's changed ending.
Yeah.
I like the original one better.
Where there's actually a cost to what Emma did.
Yeah.
Because what Emma did's already bullshit and incredibly convenient.
Yeah.
So to remove that cost, I mean, I like it. I don't know. It devalues the ending, but I do like those little cushy, like, oh, it all worked out in the end feelings too. But like, best ending in the universe, Code Geass. It had consequences. Even with the theory that Lelouch would still be alive on the cart, they never confirmed it. The ending that is in the show
Is that he's dead.
yeah.
And
That's how they should do Promised Neverland. That's how they should do all of these. If people want that happy, cushy ending, it's something they should be making in their mind from what was on the paper.
you know what actually has another good ending that I really like too? Death Note.
Yes.
I like Death Note's ending.
And it's like almost the complete opposite reason. Like, it was conclusive.
Yeah. And
They don't... the most you can try to extrapolate after is the Shinigami world. Like going there when he dies, because he's dead.
yes. But it's like, because it's...
An ending like that
You know he's going to get caught watching the whole anime, because it's like, we're following the bad guy
Or
here.
succeed and become God.
Yeah,
Which is
but
less likely.
Less likely. So you knew Light was going to get caught eventually. And it's just... His reaction to it is just almost exactly what you would think, but maybe not. Just that he basically cries. You know what I mean? He laughs, but then he gets shot and he fucking runs away and he's scared and he's just fucking dies miserable and Ryu kills him.
After giving the purposefully ugliest laugh of like all time.
Yeah, that voice actor nailed it.
He was killed that shit. Sounded like an actual psycho clown. I was gonna say too, like, that kind of chapter, that last chapter of Promised Neverland specifically, should have been fan fiction. Like, it's not bad to want that happy ending, but the ending you had meaning. Let your fans think up like a happy ending if they need that. Especially when it has meaning, because again, it was a big thing that Emma had to give up everything she protected the entire story.
Full Metal Alchemist doesn't have a good ending.
It is another good ending. God, and man, they made that last fight hype. Like, I wasn't sold on Father in the show, especially after watching the original series. But they made up for that with how that last beatdown with that "Get up, you fucking novice." Oh,
So good.
shit! The fucking May throwing the daggers to do the transmutation with Al and give Ed his arm back. That shot of him looking up his human arm back.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
So
that
good.
shit was so good.
Bleach's ending is meh.
That's why I get so defensive when people try to take FMA's flowers away from it. No, I'm like, no, they earned those fucking flowers. You get the fuck away from my baby.
Naruto's ending is shit.
Naruto's ending is shit. I really, really like how the Naruto and Sasuke fight ended, though. If the series ended with that shot of their severed arms bleeding into each other, that would have been a banger ending for the show. Just fucking end it there. Maybe show like one shot, or have Kishimoto draw one picture of Naruto as Hokage.
No, that's the problem. You don't get to see Naruto become the Hokage. And that's what
It's
pisses
true.
everybody off. You don't see that moment. That's literally what the whole thing of Naruto wanting to do. The whole thing, you don't get to see that.
Maybe that kind of reflects what I wanted from Naruto. I just was there for the Boymance. Like, it stopped being a story about being Hokage and completely became a story about saving Sasuke along the way in my brain.
Yeah, no, Sasuke should have been killed.
Yes.
And
Or
Sakura.
fully converted to good if they want to go with this is the story of Naruto becoming Hokage.
well, because Sasuke's not complete. Like, they had to set him on the emo, I need to be a vagabond to repent my sins. And it's like, well, listen, your sins are that you killed your brother, but honestly, no one can blame you for that because nobody knew what actually happened. So, like,
You killed like the worst guy in the Leaf Village on your terrorist raid. Like, it's not like you were slaughtering all the beloved people of the Leaf Village. You killed Donzo.
Yeah,
That man
you
had
could-
like 50 eyeballs implanted in his body. Like,
and then you tried to kill Sakura, but it's like, okay, whatever. That's Sakura's decision to go with her abuser. That's whatever.
Yeah.
That's her choice.
still bad
Shit choice.
Sasuke, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but then it's like, he didn't kill anybody else.
You can
He
even
tried
argue
to
that,
invade.
like, if he really
Yeah.
wanted Sakura dead, she could have been dead, so maybe he didn't even really...
He tried to invade the Kage Summit and got fucking humbled.
Destroyed. Here's my pitch for the ending of Naruto. Like I was saying before, they have the fight, their arms bleeding out, bleeding back into each other to hold hands, because that's beautiful.
That's actually funny too,
cinematography.
because I saw a video about this. What was the video of though? Oh, it was. Remember in OG Naruto, the first time Naruto and Sasuke were about to clash with the Rasengan and Chidori on the roof, and Kakashi catches them and throws them in
like
the water
spins
bins.
their hands, yeah.
So it was that, and it's like, you know, you see the little hole that Naruto made in his little pee hole of water coming out, and Sasuke made this huge fucking
Rip and tear.
yeah. But then Sasuke goes to like run away, and then he sees the opposite side of it, and sees the.
Nani?
So all the comment section was like, "Oh, Sasuke learned that day why the show's called Naruto and all that."
Yeah, I
And
love that.
I was reading the comments, and someone made a really good point, and someone was talking about Naruto. It's like, yo, Naruto really gave Sasuke every opportunity through this series. Is like, how many times could Naruto have killed Sasuke in all of their things? And I'm like, there's only 2 times that Sasuke. Okay, you want to count 3 times in the whole series Sasuke was stronger than Naruto. The very beginning of the show,
Yep.
but at the same time,
Natural talent versus Naruto's lack of hard work.
the beginning of first episode. But then I think at the end of the first episode, because Naruto does all those shadow clones, Sasuke got
Immediately
shit
lapped
on
him.
that.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
then
mean, one fireball would tear through at least 50 shadow clones.
Because it's mad shadow clones, but like, it's still Naruto's.
Yeah. And
Then I'll say, at the Valley of the End fight, that Sasuke is stronger than Naruto still there, because Naruto relies a lot on the QB chakra, but he only uses one tail. Like if he used
and
more,
one technique, too, with shadow clones.
so I think then he's stronger, but just barely. I think they're actually pretty evenly matched. It's just that Sasuke had the commitment where Naruto didn't have the commitment in the fight, so I think they were pretty even there.
Yeah.
But then I'd say, when Naruto and Sasuke first meet in Shippuden again, with Orochimaru's training, Sasuke's got the edge over Naruto with Jiraiya's training when they first meet. But then once Naruto starts going on his plan, Sasuke just doesn't do anything. He kills Orochimaru, quote unquote, but then he just doesn't do anything for like mad long until he goes to fight Itachi. But Naruto's fighting all of these different enemies.
Yeah.
And getting stronger and learning different techniques and all this shit.
Well, Daidara.
Yeah, well, no, that's after. Isn't it?
No, I think that's before Itachi.
No, I thought it was after because he... Oh, maybe it is
No,
before.
because he starts wearing the Akatsuki cloak after Itachi. Because I was going to say Killer
Yeah.
Bee was first, but that's not possible because he's already
Oh, Killer Bee.
soft recruited by Akatsuki. It's
cathartic watching for me.
a really good fight. I rewatched that fight. I didn't even watch all of Shippuden.
He fucking... Killer Bee fucking owns them.
Before we get carried away, just because it's really simple, they bleed into their hands. Literally hard cut to Naruto's coronation and him being really proud and the people loving him and Naruto.
I think as soon as Naruto learns the fucking Rasengan, for the rest of the series, he's stronger.
Yeah.
Because everything Naruto gets just laps what Sasuke has.
So let's say that's on top of every other advantage he has, because Sage Mode again was like a ginormous jump for him.
I remember reading that, like, after the pain arc ended, because when that happened, Zetsu even says it to Sasuke, like, says it to Obito, right in front of Sasuke, and he's like, yeah, Naruto's probably stronger than Sasuke now. And Sasuke's like,
Sure, he loved that.
And I was just like, he's right, though. Sasuke ain't got shit
You might
on
well
Sage
listen,
Mode.
Sasuke.
Yeah. If they were to fight right there, Sasuke doesn't stand a chance. Not a fucking shot in the dark. And I still don't think, because again, anytime, even in that final battle, Naruto was holding back.
Yeah.
Naruto's way
His
stronger than
entire
Sasuke.
goal is to get Sasuke back. He never wavered on that. For him to not hold back would be for him to stop caring about the fact he wants his friend back.
Not to mention also Naruto went through way more throughout the war arc of draining shit before they even fought.
Again, the billions of fucking QB cloaks he put on fucking everybody.
Bullshit.
I could do math.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my mind, Naruto is the story of getting his boyfriend back. Because it really stopped being about becoming Hokage. Naruto's doing heroic things, doing stuff for the village, but like, and he says he wants to be Hokage, but really all his actions are like, man, where's my buddy? Where's my bro?
Yeah, because if he wanted to be Hokage, he wouldn't have finished his own series as a Genin.
No, he would not have. Nor would he finish his series bleeding into his bro.
Yeah.
Like, I think Kishimoto would be really good at doing some boys love, man.
Some BL.
He doesn't even know it. Or he does, and he's too scared to do it. He's too scared to fly. Sasunaru is still alive today. I see profiles dedicated to Sasuke and Naruto shipping in 2025. Kishimoto, just do it, man.
Brutal.
Or make an AU where Naruto just straight up didn't marry Sakura and just write out Boruto entirely. We all win. I get my boys' love. Boruto stops existing. Everyone's happy.
Yeah. I just pretend Boruto is fanfic.
No, I haven't heard from the fandom in a really long time. I wonder how it's going for them, because they used to be very loud.
I still know it's getting chapters. I still sometimes get notifications.
I haven't seen like a page in a long time.
Because it's ass and no one gives a fuck about it, so they ain't talking about it.
That's why I'm curious, because they did give a fuck. They shouldn't have, but they did. Where did they go?
Maybe
they were really loud, man.
Maybe something happened, and it fucking.
Maybe they all realized that they pulled yet another incredibly awful ass pull with the whole rewriting everybody's memories shit.
The fuck is Boruto 2 Blue Vortex?
In your mind, imagine it says Boruto Shippuden, and you're like all the way there.
Oh my god! Because chapter 19 just came out.
I do believe it's monthly.
Yeah, that's monthly. It's monthly. February, January, December, November, October.
I'm sorry, Boruto fans. Yeah, it's monthly, and it didn't help the art. It doesn't help the art. Not to shit on him. Every artist in all of Shonen Jump history is doing better than I could ever do with a pencil. I want to make that always clear whenever I ever criticize art. I draw stick figures. But man, you put up monthly Boruto next to weekly Centuria, there's no fucking difference. I mean, not no fucking difference. There's no fucking contest.
Centuria is a rough one, though, because
it is inconsistent.
Inconsistent, especially with the hand sizes. But
with that hand detail, blows the detail in Boruto out the water.
Yeah, all right. How about this, then? Put fucking Boruto monthly next to any other monthly. Put it next to Goku Rakugan.
Yeah, the gap. The extreme gap. That's my problem. Boruto, at best, looks like Naruto did. Goku Rakugan looks like cinema. Goku Rakugan is more like Horikoshi if I was going to compare Goku Rakugan to a weekly mangaka. As in, like, the MHA author. Because that guy fucking draws, man.
I mean, and even just bi-weekly shit. Mm-hmm. Kaiju's got better art. Fucking Spy Family.
I put Spy Family like equal. It does have some banger pages, but it does that same kind of like keeping it simple that Boruto does. Because as much as I hate Boruto, I'm not gonna put it too far below what its art's worth. But Kaiju, blows it out the water. It's that kind of depth. Again, that Horikoshi specifically is a master of. Horikoshi's drawing, something about the perspective and shading, it leaps off the fucking page. Deku looks like he could come out and punch you in the face. Like,
nice.
Like, I'll never take anything away from Horikoshi's fucking art. I gawk at it on Google all the fucking time. But that doesn't redeem story faults.
Well, it's tough to keep long-form stories consistent.
We always say most of them probably aren't planning.
What the fuck's going on with Black Clover? Is that still releasing chapters or not?
Holy fuck, I don't know what's happening with Black Clover. I might be really behind. Because it seemed like...
Has that ended yet?
No, because
no, it definitely hasn't. But...
Every 3 months they were doing it. But it seems like instead of every 3 months putting out like a 50-page chapter, he's taking 3 months and then putting out 2 chapters. You know how like a bi-monthly would probably just combine into one, but it's almost like he's keeping the same general chapter length per chapter and just increasing how many he puts out. From the outside looking in, I literally have maybe read 2 chapters since it went to tri-weekly. I mean, tri-monthly. Jesus, quarterly. Ugh. Turns into sand in my mouth. Let me see. Yeah, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 chapters. Yeah, one of these was a triple chapter drop. So instead of
when was the last chapter released? Does it have
January 9th. So yeah, it's still going.
Yeah.
Unless that was the last one. I feel like
we would have heard that
yeah,
it was the
no matter how like much its popularity has dropped, I feel like we'll hear when it ends. I need to get on that though. I have a backlog on that and Hunter x Hunter. And the Hunter x Hunter drops have, I think, officially stopped for now. He went back into hibernation.
I am the only one I'm really behind on that I'm like... I'm behind on stuff.
I'm also behind
Undead
on
Unluck
stuff.
ended.
The manga?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Recently. But, it's got over 200 chapters, so...
Yeah. I don't know, I was kind of wishing, like... with what the Black Clover author said, because the Black Clover author was like, I'm going to be just like Naruto, I'm going to keep going until I can't keep going anymore. I do wish one story that's not One Piece was trying to do that still. Just one. Like, I'm still terrified Kaiju's ending. Like, I want one.
You know what the hilarious thing is, too? Because all of the people, One Piece theory crafters and stuff on, like, all the Grand Line Review.
Yes. Love him.
Yes. He's the biggest.
My favorite Hunter x Hunter creator.
Yeah. He's the biggest One Piece content creator by subscriber count. And him and I think 2 other people have the same viewpoint as they did, like, their own rationale based on previous arcs, and it seems the One Piece will end somewhere around 2032. So we still got, what's that?
That's 2 presidents.
7 more years?
Like 2 more presidents.
Yeah. So about 7 more years.
Damn.
Of One Piece.
I'm never catching up.
Just gotta do a couple of chapters here and there, you know?
It'll only take me till I'm like 80.
Nah. You can do it. You just gotta want to do it.
That is a huge mountain to climb.
I know.
Wanting to, not reading it. I'll climb the mountain, and it'll be like Corrin's towers on top.
So all you really got to do is take it by an arc, you know what I mean? So, like, you just finished Skypiea.
I was exhausted after Skypiea. Like, I liked it, but I was exhausted.
Because I was telling you, you're going to really like the next arc. You're going to fucking lose the next arc. Because the next arc is not Water 7. You have a mini arc in between.
I need to,
Longing,
like you said...
Long Island. It's fucking... You're going to read it, and you're going to be like, am I reading filler?
Oh, no.
And you're better off just skipping it.
I might. Honestly.
Yeah. And then it goes into Water 7 in this lobby. So just like... If you were to do it, just read the Water 7 Lemons Lobby stuff, and then as soon as you're finished with that arc, take another break. And when you want to read more... What's that?
With just a few chapters at a time, honestly. Because
yeah.
I do worry about burnout. Because, I haven't read Blue Lock since binging it. I haven't gone back to One Piece since binging Skypiea.
Or Tower of God.
It's very hard for me to get back into Tower of God. Man, do I rip that shit apart in my head. In my eyes, in my mouth.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's just so stupid sometimes. I'm sorry. The sleepy Yama boy thing just really got me, man. Don't interrupt him. He's sleepy. He's eepy sleepy.
Yeah.
He'll bring it back in. He'll get me back. Just give me like one scene of Kun blushing after he looks at Bam, and I'm back.
So easy to keep you intrigued.
It's true. So we get the bromance. Like suddenly you catch up to when Sasuke sees Naruto in the actual canonical timeline. I'm like, oh, I'm back. They saw each other. He's just pretending to be emo.
No, just because I get it too. Because you're at. I mean, what's Skype at? Fucking chapter 300 and something.
We can tell you exactly where I'm at. Give me one sec. Because I don't remove anything from my continue reading. It's literally the last thing in my continue reading, by the way. One Punch Man got opened more recently than One Piece 303.
Oh, dude,
You're good.
Yeah, I just guessed too. And this week's chapter is going to be 1140.
That's almost 3 of my Blue Lock binges. And again, I haven't been able to go back and really sit down and like dig back into Blue Lock.
And the problem is too, a lot of that you're just not going to like. Like Fishman Island's a weak arc. I'm not going to lie. Part of it's good. The Return to Sabity beginning sections of it is good, but Fishman Island's a weak arc. Some people don't like Thriller Bark. I fucking love Thriller Bark.
I've heard that a lot.
A lot of people say the Thriller Bark is.
I think Charlie liked Thriller Bark though. I think I remember that from
love.
his video.
I love the aesthetic of Thriller Bark. Like Gecko Mori is just whatever, but I like everything else going on because, and I've heard it described this way a few times. It's a mid-tier arc with S-tier moments because nothing happens in that fucking Kuma's Urusha shock happens in that fucking
Brooks arc, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Yeah. That's when we meet Brooke, and Brooke's amazing, and Brooke's backstory is great.
Just think your sheer love of One Piece has educated me on so much more One Piece than I have any right knowing.
It's true.
If that's any proof that I'm listening when you talk.
I appreciate it.
I've internalized a shitload of One Piece. There are times my partner says something about One Piece. I'm like, oh yeah, because that and that happened. Oh yeah. And I was like, right after that, right? And I've never read or watched anything near what he's talking about.
Yeah. Because, like, then you got fucking...
Oh, I love Carrot. I've seen, like, 5 pictures of Carrot. I do.
No,
those 5 pictures were enough.
No, Pedro's going to be your boy.
I hope he's the first gay man that's not obscenely, obviously, extremely gay.
He's not. He's just...
There's a reason I like my Sasuke's and my Kuns.
He's just Pedro. He's an ink, too. He's a lion man.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm there.
I know you are.
You know me. You know me well. But I will say, CP9, not hot.
No.
I think the giraffe is the most, like, aesthetically pleasing to look at, and he's still not, like, he doesn't cross the line.
Yeah.
Like, Lucci's whatever, but the proportions...
His awakening's cool.
Like, it's badass looking, but it can't. You're so top-heavy.
It is.
It's a lot of chest.
It is, huh? But Water 7, banger. Then after that is Throw Bark. I love Throw Bark. God, I can't talk right now. Thriller.
We're excited.
Bark. Some people don't like it. I love it. Right after Thrill Bark, you go to... Do we go straight to Sabayundi? Yeah. I think so. Yeah, you just go straight to Sabayundi. And
Which
then all
I
that
have
shit,
seen a lot of in the anime.
which is fire. But then you follow Luffy's stuff, and like some people don't like Amazon Lily, which I get. It's set up. There's not really like big moments that really happen in it. But then it goes from it there, and it's just, this is where you would fucking start binging, because then you hit fucking Impel Down,
will
Marineford.
On how much I like Luffy by the time that happens. Whether or not I'm going to love binging through an only Luffy plotline.
Well, that's the thing, though, because Amazon Lily is the only Luffy-only plotline.
Okay, good.
Because then you're going to go, because you're going to go to Impel Down. And that's when Luffy starts meeting a bunch of other people that you've met before, and they're going to go with Luffy. Then you get
some other people
Marine
who are
Ford.
quite frankly jobbers.
Yeah. Then you're going to get to Marine Ford. And Luffy's the centerpiece, but there is so much happening around Luffy, and it's so much not about Luffy. It's just Luffy's here and he's trying to save Ace, and it keeps reminding you that he's here.
Yeah, to be fair, if I get here, I should be able to get through this to get to there.
Yeah.
But like, Luffy's not my favorite crew member, and that's putting things lightly. So I am worried about that little chunk, but again, I'll push through. Like,
yeah, because again, it's
right
really
now.
just Amazon Lily. I feel like for you, because it's just everything is Luffy. It's just Luffy's on the page.
Yeah, like quite
all
literally
the time.
everyone else on the page would be jobbers. Like,
Because like you go through an arc, right? Skypiea, you go through it. You're not following Luffy the whole time. It's like, oh, let's check in on Robin. What's she doing? Oh, she found a poneglyph. What's Sanji doing? Or you got Zoro doing this thing, and you got Nami doing this. But in Amazon Lily, it's what is Luffy doing with this person? Oh, what is this person doing with Luffy? What is Luffy doing here? So all of Amazon Lily is Luffy doing things on Amazon Lily.
I'll get through that though. I will. I know what you mean with Marine Ford, because obviously I've seen like clips and stuff, and we've talked about it when it was happening. You know, I think at least, or at least when you were reading through it originally.
Well, I didn't read. I watched. That was when I was binging, watching One Piece. Because when I caught up,
I heard all about it.
When I caught up to One Piece anime, it was in 2011, and I think, I believe we were in the middle of.
Crisis.
No, we were in the middle of fucking Punk Hazard. That's when I think that's when I caught up to One Piece. Yeah, 2011. Yeah.
Oh my god. I was either like still in high school or just getting out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like peaks in on the couch stoner times.
Yeah. But then it's like I said too, you're gonna read that, you're gonna be hyped, you need to take a break though, because then you got Fishman Island, and it's universally
Fishman Island
agreed.
in its own right, if I read it all, I'm imagining that's another one. I'm gonna be like, oh man, I need a little fucking break after this.
Yeah, and it's just not a good arc. I mean, there's a lot of important lore details that are dropped in Fishman Island, but like the main focus of what's happening is just sucks.
And to be fair, it does pay off world building wise, the earlier stuff with Arlong and stuff like that. But that's the other part I'm afraid of, is that I already know stuff like that, like symbolisms and racism and like how that plays into it all. And that's like the thing it had going for it. So I'm already robbing myself of the good part.
The main problem with it is you introduce that Luffy is so much stronger now, because it's the first arc after the time skip.
Fuck the fights anyways.
But that's the problem a lot of people have, is because they had to find ways to make Luffy struggle against a villain that he should have just one shot. Because he really does. The first time Luffy hits this dude, he basically dies. And he has to fucking eat a bunch of pills.
So it's almost like artificially making a fight when you really didn't have to. Like, he could have just mollywhopped that guy and we move on. No. Like, it doesn't always have to be a big Herculean fight.
So much so that earlier in the arc, Zoro almost one-shots the main bad guy of Fishman Island.
In water, if I remember right.
Yes, underwater.
Again, I have approximate knowledge of all things.
Yes.
But then, I see what you mean. Like, it's not even the fact that like the fights were bad. It was the fact that they didn't even really have to happen.
Because if anything, too, you could skip Fishman Island, just look up a recap video, 5 minutes. What do I need to know? Or I just tell you.
Yeah, but that's a slippery slope.
It is, because then you.
When do I just start doing that instead of spending like
don't do that
40 hours an arc?
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't get me starting to think about my time.
Because then fucking
One Piece's biggest hope for me getting through it is if it somehow manages to immerse me. If I can lose myself in an arc, I'll get through that arc like nothing. Like that, like reading from where I started to the end of Alabasta was so much easier and faster than the beginning of Skypiea to the end of Skypiea.
Well, Alabasta is a fucking SK arc too.
Exactly.
So.
I didn't feel like I was fighting myself to read this. And like again,
I am so happy you did read all Skypiea because a lot of people try to say that's the worst arc, and you're like, no, that's one of the most important.
But that's
arcs.
what I mean.
Fucking Skypiea's goated.
How like there was good moments in Skypiea too. I didn't hate everything about Skypiea, but like, when is it a disservice to just say, "Oh, I'll watch a recap for this arc"? What if I did that with Skypiea, and you're happy I didn't?
Yeah.
So I shouldn't do that with Fishman Island. There has to be a principle here.
You're right. Because the problem is, once you finish Fishman Island, the next arc is Punk Hazard, and Punk Hazard starts the Yonko saga, and the Yonko saga ends when Wano ends.
So I mean, you don't want me to start watching recap videos.
Every arc is a continued basic story, because they find Kinemon and Momonosuke and Punk Hazard, and then everything afterwards, that's when Law and Luffy make their alliance.
It's like you're saying,
to go take
like,
down Kaido.
How like sagas work in general too. Like Amazon Lilies are reset for Luffy because they finished in a lot of ways an enormous, long-spanning plot line, and now it's time to reset to the next until they get to Yonko starting, which in my mind is like Oda being like, yeah, this is the way to go. I'm going to start there to lay the breadcrumbs. Like, Oda's a great planner. He makes the plot ideas, but he doesn't dive straight into it. He doesn't go, oh shit, yeah, Kaido, let's do that now. He's like, how would they naturally eventually get to that point that I just thought of?
Well, a lot of it is because, again, it's the Law's plan, and it's actually laid out immediately, because Law just tells you straight out. It's like, we need to do this, this, and this, and then we can go fight Kaido.
But that's what I mean.
And then between this and going to fight Kaido is what happens.
But that's what I mean. It's still
Other
the same
than
thing.
Whole Cake Island.
It's just even more breadcrumbs, even longer. Like, he doesn't just jump into, like, all of his best ideas. He cares about building to them. Unlike Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck's happening there.
That's what I mean with, like, I don't
place.
feel the stakes. I feel like if Chainsaw Man's plot right now had more room to breathe between fighting falling, fighting aging, then I would care about those things more.
I think he's just trying to build up chaos for something. Like, he's just throwing a lot of chaos at us, and I feel like it might, in retrospect, have a purpose later, but at the same time, I don't see it right now.
No.
I'm more hoping that it's gonna, in retrospect, mean something.
If I had a chapter anywhere near, like, him hanging out with Reze before everything goes to shit, if there's one of those moments where it's like Denji having something fun again or having something real again before he has to, like, lose it.
But I feel like that's what we're getting with Asa right now, or Yoro. So I'm like, what's the point in bringing Reze back if you're gonna do the same thing that's happening right now with Yoro?
Like, I think a great way right now, if I was Fujimoto, and Lord knows I can't do it better than him. Let me preface that again for the nerds that would attack me for thinking I'm better than him. I'm not. I just don't have to do this fucking weekly. What I would do right now is give us, like, at least 3/4 of a chapter of just what Asa's thinking about what's happening. Not just because I'm interested.
I do think we're going to get that because she's notably not around. And every time one or the other is, like, especially when Yoro's in control, Asa's always showcased standing behind her somewhere. Now, it's not always the case when Asa's in charge, you see Yoro there. But every time Yoro's in charge, you see Asa
At
on
least
panel with her.
Yeah, if it's not every single panel, it's like somewhere on that page, one of those panels will have Asa going, "What?" to what Yoro did, and that would just heighten those stakes for me. Bring me back into the world here. I can't relate to fighting the aging devil, and you're not giving me the things I can relate to, or when you do, you're not exploring them enough. Like Naota's head. How good would it have been if we had, like, 3 chapters of Denji processing that Naota's gone, closer to it happening?
Yeah. So I do still like the fact. I think that the processing should have been after he calmed down from the Chainsaw Man. I liked that he went straight into rage mode Chainsaw and just started killing people.
Like maybe
that
the
makes
aging
sense.
world would have been a good time, and he did try. He was crying over what happened to him, but I don't think it was enough.
He got over it way too quickly.
Exactly. Like it should have been 1 or 2 whole chapters of actual fucking grieving. Like you thought of the Aki in power and shit, and showed the little boat thing too. That's something fans have been waiting for forever, is to see Denji like process that. Not even see those characters again. See Denji give a fuck
and
about
he
them.
basically says in this chapter, well, they're gone, so I might as well move on. It's like, what?
That pulls me like right out of that shit.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable too, because again, the last time he thought about them for a split second, he split his own fucking brain open just to not think about them. So like, I don't know, there's a disconnect happening. I feel like, in my opinion, it feels like Fujimoto's losing what the heart of the story is. He's got all of the bits, all the fancy baubles and shit, but the heart of it's gone. For now. Again, there's always pulling it back
There could
around.
be, like I said, there could be a master plan happening that we just don't see yet. But
There could be. He's still, again, a great director visually, and good with like symbolism and theming and stuff. Again, that shot with Asa missing from the chair as Yoru's confessing Asa's love to him. That's really artistic shit. Rein it in. And or Shonen Jump, give this man bi-weekly again, please. Get this man a better schedule. He wasn't raised in this. He taught himself to draw. He has a sculpting degree, and he hated it. I don't even know if he finished the degree. He hated sculpting and taught himself to draw and put himself into a mangaka.
Good for him.
Right? Give the man some fucking leeway. He's making you an enormous amount of money. And will make you more money if you let him shine.
Yeah, man, it's top 10 manga sales still, so.
In what a lot of people will say it's decline. But I mean, that's also going to get like so bolstered when that anime comes back. When that fucking movie comes out. Did you see the trailer for that?
Was it recent?
Yeah, I think there's a recent trailer for it.
I might have seen it.
Either way,
Maybe.
I'll send it to you and we can talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
I was just going to be like, yeah, Mappa, but no, I'm not doing another fuck Mappa section. We have well trodden that ground. They haven't even put out another anime.
They need to do something.
They
There's
fucking need
way
to.
too many good series in Mappa jail right now.
It's true. I'm just so glad they didn't fucking give them.
Well, no, they just came out with actually the fucking the manga artist anime.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Fuck. Was it Dandadan that they bid on and got rejected? I don't think it was.
Kagurabachi.
Kagurabachi. Oh, again, thank God.
Kagurabachi was like, yeah, no, we're good.
Good sense prevailed.
They denied Wit Studio. I mean,
Oh.
I believe as well. Because,
That was also a really good choice, yeah.
because Wit Studio is trying to do the One Piece.
And they have commitment issues in general.
Yeah, which I'm worried about with the One Piece.
Yeah, I think they're insane to look at their own resume, their own workers and work ethic, and say, let's do the One Piece.
Well,
I love Wit.
So do I. But if what is to be believed based on an interview or an article that I read, that Wit is basically making a team specifically for that. It's like, here's our team, but because they were hiring people when it was announced for the One Piece.
So
story.
yeah, like they were onboarding more people instead of like.
Yeah, they're like, we're hiring for the One Piece. So I
Which is a
think
good
they're
choice.
making their own team just for that, which I think is, you're gonna have to do that if you ever want to finish
The One Piece.
before you die.
Which they should also just set a realistic goal. They should only be remaking so much of One Piece. Like, where does that fucking end? Are we going to be 10 years in the future and they're remaking Wano? Is it going to be like the Resident Evil games where they're literally just going to go through every Resident Evil game and fucking remake them now?
I think that's the plan, or it's
a
really going to
bad
be
plan.
with how well it's received. You know what I mean?
This is going to be the worst way to put it because the industry will never admit this, but they should remake up until Toei started doing their fucking job.
Which is Wano.
Yeah, so up literally when Wano starts is where the One Piece should end.
It's weird too because as soon as you finish Whole Cake Island and go into Wano, it's literally that episode. As soon as it starts, you're like, oh shit, the fucking just the atmospheric animation of this changed.
Like they invested in it.
It's just Luffy standing still looking at the camera.
It immediately
Between
became more
Whole Cake
stylized.
yeah, between Whole Cake and Wano, it's just like, oh okay.
It got with the goddamn times a little bit.
And then when we really found out what was going to be happening was the first major attack that was done in the animation on it. Zoro's onigiri attack he did on fucking Killer. We were like, even when I saw that, I was like, this is from One Piece? I mean, it's only like a 30-second clip or something like that, but
again, when you're watching One Piece for that many episodes and suddenly there's like more than 10 frames in your attack, you're gonna fucking shit your pants. Like, no joke. Like,
yeah,
it's almost like a jarring level of improvement.
I just like fast forward through some of it, but it just starts. It goes
Again,
black and white.
Even the art style is more stylized in so many of this, like the color palette.
Yeah, it's fucking, the whole thing is just, as soon as he goes in, boom. And it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? It's like all this animation, the fucking cubes.
There it is. Yep.
The cubes. And I'm like, this is like, when I saw this was the greatest.
Frames and shit too.
Yeah, it's like, this is one of the greatest things One Piece has ever done, animation wise.
It's like just boom. Here's an attack too.
Yeah, and that's it.
Like, this wasn't some monumental battle. This isn't some.
It's really not
fucking huge war. It's like, oh, they actually put effort into killing the fodder guy. What the fuck is going to happen the rest of this arc? Like, that gets you pumped.
Yes.
On top of, again, going from like 10 frames to like 100 frames with 3D tracking and the cube animations.
And then all the shit they were doing in the big fights with all the still frames, like you go through it and you'd pause things and there'd be hidden stuff inside of the animation frames that you could see, that like the little nods that the Toei animationers were doing and stuff.
Yeah,
like when Zoro was
someone
fighting
woke
King.
up at fucking Toei.
Yeah, when Zoro was fighting King at one point, through like some of the, like the heartbeat things, it like spelled his name in like the fire in the sky and shit in one quick frame.
I always want to make a bet that One Piece suddenly became more profitable in one sector or another. Like, not exactly the anime specifically, but maybe it started making more money or more traction in other countries. And Toei's like, wait a minute. Is our cash cow more of a cash cow than we even thought? Should we actually put effort into this? But that's like a guess. So I'm wondering what would suddenly wake them up to put effort into their fucking work.
I think it was, I don't know, because the first time I saw them really do effort, like big effort into something again, was Super, the Tournament of Power.
Oh yeah, shit, right?
Because then Super ends, and then all of a sudden, One Piece is just fucking popping off. And
oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
you're right too, because Super would be Toei, yeah.
It is, yeah, straight up just Toei.
What if we did this, but for all of our anime? That's what they said. They had Goku grind his Kamea wave on a Kamea wave, and they're like, huh, could we be doing more for One Piece?
I'm glad they did it, because Wano's like the perfect arc to
and it's
do
paid
that.
off. Like, that kind of traction builds up. I would never see One Piece clips before Wano.
No, never.
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 No one's ever like, look at this fucking punch.
No. Doesn't
Now
happen.
they are. Now I see it all the fucking time. Now when Garp does something, it's on my feed. Now when fucking anyone does anything, it's on my feed.
Oh my god, the time between Wano and Egghead is just pure ecstasy of all the shit that happens in there. Fucking,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
so good.
poke my head in the window moments.
I cannot wait until the anime comes back again in April, because Egghead also has some hype fucking shit that's gonna happen. Elbath is still early. But the setup
Yeah,
that's
but
happening is...
at the same time, you were specifically excited for Elbath.
Well, yeah, everyone's been waiting for Elbath. We're waiting also for the Usopp greatness.
We'll see.
But he's not doing anything right now. He's at a party, and we're focusing on Nami, Zoro, and Luffy doing their own thing over here, which is hype. But at the same time, it's Elbath. It's supposed to be... But I don't think it's... I think people are going to be let down. Because when Whole Cake Island happened... Yeah, because when Whole Cake Island happened, like, oh, this is going to be Sanji's arc, because it was all about Sanji. And whereas Sanji does do a lot of stuff in it, because again it's centered around Sanji, the whole reason we're even here is because of Sanji. And he does some good stuff, but there's a lot of things people wish we got more out of Sanji there. Like, we wish we got a Niji versus Sanji fight, and that didn't happen. I feel
like that's been a running thing a little bit, because like a lot of people are like, oh, fucking Wano, this could be Zoro's moment. Oh, Egghead, this could be Frankie's moment. So
it's literally what I was going to say next.
Oh, yes. I know.
And Zoro got nothing in Wano other than he got Enma. And he
and that's not really
the
what
whole thing
want.
about Shisui, his sword he got in, because when Wano was introduced was in Thriller Bark, when he got Shisui, Ryuma's sword. And that's like a sacred item for Wano, because Ryuma's like their hero, and Gecko Moria stole that sword, so it was like an affront. So when Zoro's just walking around with it, it causes problems with somebody, and they steal it from Zoro. And so that girl you saw with the blue hair, she gives Zoro her father's sword, Enma. And now Zoro has Enma still to this day.
But yeah, see, One Piece fans don't care so much about getting a new sword. They cared about all that cool history stuff and world-building stuff before
that we didn't get, though, because we didn't get to see Zoro visit Ryuma's grave, and that's what most people wanted.
That's the thing.
And then the whole thing about his father, because we did get his father's name, and we know that his father's from Wano, but it happened in an SBS. We were told about it, not in the canon manga in Wano.
See, that's the thing with what Oda's done, is that because his strongest qualities are world building, writing, storytelling, nods, and planning ahead, that's what his fans want. They're not going to care nearly as much about Zoro killing this guy in a cool way like a Demon Slayer fan would. They care more about, holy shit, where's this new sword come from? Or how'd that sword tie in? Or where's Zoro's family and parents? And that's everything. One Piece fans don't come buckets, in your words, over this punch is stronger.
We don't.
This guy is
come buckets over
lore. So when it falls a little short of the expectation lore-wise, that's an affront.
It's actually funny you say this, because like that, the last 2 chapters ago with the mural I told you about.
That was like the holy grail.
It was literally the last page of the manga, or the chapter. And we had a humongously hype moment earlier in the chapter with the character showcasing the Cerberus fruit and attacking somebody, and got a whole bunch of cool fight shit. Nobody gave a fuck about that. People mentioned it, but like, yeah, that shit with Shamrock was cool, but this mural...
They're not making 2-hour videos out of the fights with Shamrock.
Multiple 2-hour videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like you said, some of your favorite moments in One Piece are the parts between arcs where you get to just quickly catch up with characters, see the new bounties.
Yeah.
See how people react to the bounties. Like,
yeah.
That says a lot about what people are looking to get out of One Piece, too. So when they fall short of Frankie not getting enough content in Egghead, or Zoro not having enough lore in Wano, that's legitimate. Like,
people were upset that there were no bounty increases after Egghead, but I'm like, yo, we just got one like huge after Wano.
Like, I could forgive it this time, Oda.
And it's like, I mean, Egghead really, like, the shit that happens there
it's quite literally involves the world government.
And like, you should, and the way the news was spanned, because it was said that because Luffy was there for a long time, like in the universe wise, that we didn't even see, because it was at least multiple days or maybe a week or so. and because they said Yonko Luffy has barricaded himself on Egghead and taken the whole island hostage. So we sent a super buster call and an admiral there. But then it's like there were more people that showed up off the books, though. We don't want to talk about those. But
unofficial government business.
Luffy wins that. Like, that buster call is like gonzo. They did not survive that shit. And Luffy set sail briskly away. No loss on his part to anything. So you would think on a world scale, yeah, you could increase the bounty, but I'm like...
It almost doesn't matter anymore.
Luffy's
We're getting close to the point of not mattering. Because again, when he's wiping out whole chunks of the government too, like, they're going to start to not even be able to pay people or enforce bounties. You know what I mean? Like, bounties as a system will fall apart eventually if this course keeps going.
There's still five? Maybe 6. I think, because we know Mihawk's bounty now. So I think there's 5 or 6 people that still had, counting Whitebeard and Roger, that have had a higher bounty than what Luffy's current bounty is now. But Luffy's bounty doubled from before and then after Wano. He was at 1.5 billion entering Wano and 3 billion exiting Wano.
I feel even ends with, like, Luffy.
We know
a similar end as Gold Roger.
We actually know what Luffy's bounty will be at the end of the series.
Oh shit!
Without actually knowing, because a lot of the bounties play on because Oda loves puns. He's huge into puns, and Japanese wordings is very easy to make puns into. And sometimes it's lost in translation, like this chapter with the mural. The dude that did the attack with the Cerberus thing I was talking about, he says he does his attack, and the person he's doing is like, "What is that?" And so the guy replies, "It's my sword." But when you say "it's my sword" or "my katana" or whatever, the way he says it in Japanese, it's like saying...
Like the character he chose to specifically use for it.
It's like, "It's my dog" or whatever, but it also can be read as "it's my sword." So, like, he makes puns and stuff like that. He does that with bounties, too. So, like, Gold Roger's bounty is the way you can say his bounty sounds like you're saying his name, Raja.
Oh.
So, it's he's 5.5 billion is what Roger's is. But Luffy's bounty, if you say, you can do the Gumu Gumu, or... Oh, the way I think it's Gumu Gumu, or it's a number that's always attributed, but it would be 56. It'd be 56.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
So it'd be 56, 56. So we think Luffy's end bounty will be 5.656 or something like that, billion berries, which will put him above Roger.
Is I think enough of the Navy's going to be wiped out where the Navy doesn't have that much berries to pay someone for capturing Luffy.
Yeah. Well, I also wonder, because the thing with bounties is I think they're just like a cool thing now.
Yeah.
Because Zoro was a bounty hunter when we first meet him. And we meet, I think, 1 or 2 other bounty hunters pre-time skip. And then we meet one bounty hunter in Dressrosa, and he's like fodder. He's immediately ripped out. We never meet the bounty hunters. Well, it's like, who's cashing in on any of these bounties ever?
You know what that tells me? It's a great system to turn pirates against pirates. That's who's turning it in. Other pirates. Because I think Bellamy would have turned Luffy in if he beat Luffy that day.
Yeah.
He absolutely would have gotten that free paycheck. So no, that's a way to keep the scoundrels fighting each other.
Which is funny, though, because it's like, yo, you're Bellamy, right? And you beat Luffy. And you bring him in. I think Luffy's bounty at the time was that he's just a rescue too. Yes, so it's
that's a good point. Unless you're like fucking Buggy the Cloud, and you just send your hand to turn it in and accept the money.
I think Buggy's bounty is higher than Luffy's is right now.
I'm sure off of bullshit and inflation.
Oh,
yeah,
it is 100% bullshit, and we all love it.
That's how it goes.
The memes, because Oda's also a memer, so it's like
just he has fun. The whole point of One Piece being so free, not giving a shit about character designs, he just wants to do what he does. He just wants to have fun. If he
That's
thinks
it.
of something, he doesn't want... anything thinks
it.
of something, he doesn't want anything he's done before to stop him from putting that on the paper.
That's why Gear 5 is the way it is because he was talking to... He was in an interview, he was saying, I think it might have actually been Kishimoto.
They did have a huge interview together. That thing was like... That was a big interview together.
But he was saying that he was trying to find a way to make fights fun again and not just super serious slugfests.
So fucking based.
So that's why he made, and he loves the old like Tom and Jerry-esque cartoons. So
Which
that's
he's
how
always mentioned loving too.
Yeah.
I think I remember him saying he didn't want to like constrain his character designs because of that too.
Yeah, so that's basically where Gear 5 came from.
And in the same way he sets up his plot to be able to do things later down the line, it's just so much great planning.
Well, Grand Line Review says it this way. He says, a lot of people give Oda a lot of credit for foreshadowing, but he says what he thinks he's actually really good at is improvising with the vast amount of lore that he's pre-set up.
Yeah,
so where it is, planning ahead, because you set a great foundation to build on later, but it's not so much foreshadowing. It's like, oh, I know this thing I'm going to do in 400 chapters, and I'm going to set it up there. It's more like, I set up this cool thing 400 chapters later. So what's something cool I can do? Oh, I had that thing I set up a couple hundred chapters ago. I can
Yeah, it's almost like
here.
he meticulously takes notes on his own work. And those little decisions he makes along the way, he makes sure to keep that open-ended.
See, because here's my thing, too, is I think, because he said that the One Piece hasn't changed on what it is, but I think he's added to what the One Piece is based on what we know in the story now.
Like he's picking his words carefully.
But I also swear I heard him say somewhere that if he saw that someone had guessed what the One Piece was, he would change what the One Piece is.
He's a memer, all right.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if I'm just thinking I read that, but...
One thing I want to get out before I forget. It's, in a way, it's not foreshadowing, it's paying off. Like, it's paying off things without technically being foreshadowing. He keeps things open so that any time later, he can make a payoff on it.
Yeah. Because a lot of the things, like pre-time skip, I think there's really only... like... big things other than obviously like what the One Piece is and all this. There's 3 giants at the end of fucking like not giants like the race of giants. Like Dorian.
Thank you, because I did immediately think the race of giants.
Yeah. The Florian Triangle, the entities we call them, because there's just these 3 ginormous shadows, and it's just like ominous and it's like. And like we're sailing away, and then it pans back, and it's just these 3 humongous entities, and we're like, "Oh shit, what the fuck are those?" So that's one thing that we still, 1,000 chapters later, have no idea of what it is.
Speaking of informal giants, I would love to know why the admirals specifically are all tall gentlemen.
I bet you would, wouldn't you?
I sure would, wouldn't I? Because they are, the 3 main ones specifically. Because if my big One Piece brain is correct, Fujitori's not that size and shape. The fact I could whip out Fujitori's name with only seeing like a fucking image of this man.
You know, it's hilarious.
You don't know who I'm talking about?
I know exactly, obviously.
Okay, you better know what I'm talking about. But the other 3 are tall, lanky men.
Yes.
Specifically.
Let's see if this image works.
Again, I have no business knowing Fujitora off the top of my head. You have done irreparable damage to my brain, sir. You have encoded so much One Piece on it.
Would you say Zoro's a pretty tall person?
No. Maybe, yes. By normal human standards. Sorry, it came out of my mouth so fast because it's fucking One Piece.
That's not a very good picture, though. I'm trying to find...
I'd say Zoro is at least an average-sized person. He's at least my height, if not a little taller than my own height.
I might have to show that, because I'm not getting any, like, good pictures to showcase...
What, how much
How large Fujitora is.
Oh my god, is he actually huge? He looks normal.
He does look normal because his body proportions are normal, but like, so I'll just show. Let me find it again. I'll just show you the when he clashed with Zoro. How much taller than
Oh
Zoro
my
he is.
god, yeah, he's a huge man too, and so is Dofi. Where do these tall boys come from?
So, at least with the admirals, whereas yes, each one of them are pretty tall. A lot of the time, especially in the anime and the pre-time skip, when a non-giant person is tall, a lot of times they'll show it as like a grandiose thing, like at an angle to be like, look how like high above this person
and
is.
And to be fair, a lot of the reason they're tall design-wise is probably Oda wanting to have that feeling in general too. Like even in a normal, not perspective shot, they should be big and foreboding to the character. But in universe, like how some people can excuse lollies because they're 1,000-year-old vampires, what's the excuse these are all the same kind of tall gentlemen?
I don't know.
I know, Oda just likes to draw whatever he wants to draw.
Fun fact, Big Mom is not a giant.
Yeah, see.
It's the best of my knowledge anyway. Pretty sure she's not. Because she doesn't have giants in her family. Because her whole thing is for all the wrong reasons. She wants her pirate crew, which are all her direct family, all her children, to encompass one of every race. And she's missing giants, Lunarians, and one other.
See, that's when I would have wanted them to be like, and the thing the admirals in Doflamingo.
People. They're just normal
people.
Yeah.
Giant hybrids. I will not accept these are just people.
They're not anything. They're just normal people. Because even Whitebeard's not a giant either.
I know, it's just like literally how Oda has his story set up. Because, I mean, look at all the other shapes and sizes people come in.
Yeah.
It is a big part of his own philosophy, too. That, like, you shouldn't be judging everything from the outside anyways. Like, so why the fuck do you care?
Giants are fucking huge. Everything in Elbath right now, I'm like, holy fucking shit.
It's like one of those Mario worlds where you're shrunk down and everything's big.
It's literally like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
I imagined them as much, at least.
Like, right now, a giant, or at the beginning of last chapter, a giant is carrying Luffy, Zoro, and Nami, all three of them, in his hands.
Oh.
And they fit all three of them in his hands. That's how much bigger he is than they are. And they're just walking around in this normal-sized castle to him. So the castle is a castle. Like, if we were standing in a castle, the castle's huge. The castle's that big in comparison to the giant. So imagine what it looks like to Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji and Nami.
Alice in Wonderland.
But then, fucking Oda does fucking stupid shit. We just met fucking Scopper Gabon. And he's a normal-sized dude.
He's got great names, though. I gotta say, man. Oda's a banger namer.
And he's married to a
Gecko Moria. That name you just said.
Scopper Gabon.
Even the Japanese ones. Fujitora is a banger name. Like,
a lot of them are players on things, because, like, Scopper is for copper.
Well, it's gotta be. Like, you're writing, like
because he's
a billion fucking characters.
Well, he was on part of Roger's crew.
Even Toriyama was doing jokes with his character names, and Toriyama doesn't have a 1/100th of the amount of characters Oda does. So you have to do that just to remember them.
Yeah, because it's gold, Roger. Silver's Rayleigh. Scopper, Copper, Gabon.
Yeah.
It's actually Gabon, I guess.
I got so excited.
There's a Y in there, but I guess when it was translated, because he's not in the series mentioned too many times throughout the series, but we know who he is. And I guess when it was translated way back when, they dropped the Y in Gabon. So for us English speakers, we've been saying his name is Gabon, but there's supposed to be a Y in there, which is why when he was first introduced in this chapter, he was as Yasan. So it's because it's Yasan. That's Gabon, not Gabon. We were missing a letter for the translation, so shit like that can fuck us over a little bit, but
honestly, at the point of that kind of system, yeah, it's a funny joke for the people that can understand it, but I feel like the point of that system is to help Oda remember everything.
Yeah.
In my own personal opinion, at least.
No, there's a lot of cool names. And plays on names, because a lot of times, like, we were interested, like, a lot of the times, too, important characters, like, you'll have their name, but the way their kanji is written means something to their, like, lore or something like that.
Yeah, like a call like that, obviously English speakers aren't going to get.
Yeah.
But every single Japanese speaker would.
Because I know a lot of people were really wanting to get Kaido's kanji spelling of his name. We had what's the other one? Katakana.
Yes.
We had that version of his name, but that's just how it's written in the manga. So if his name is written down, it's written like that.
Yeah, again, I don't know much about my Japanese here or any at
Neither
all.
do I much.
But it's in that same way. They're like, my name is this, the character for this, which means this and this, and then my second name is this, the character's this, that means this and this, and the character this, that means this and this.
Yeah.
Like, there's some, I don't know the connection here, but that's like 3 layers fucking deep of meaning and depth that changes between it.
It's wild.
Too much. Makes wanting to learn Japanese very intimidating.
Right?
My partner was trying. You could even see, like, if you look at his work desk, he has little post-it notes of, like, little characters and, like, how, like, the spelling works for them.
I think the best one is
syntax.
the kanji for penguin. It's just, I think it's bird and then the kanji for, like, tuxedo or suit.
See, yeah, that's a weird system. That helped really enlighten me to what's fucking going on here.
Well, because I actually watched a video the other day of someone breaking that down, too. The kanji writing of Imoto, which is little sister, is woman, not yet. And then
Ew.
older sister, One-san, is woman in market.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really no wonder now that's enlightening on other things.
Right? Welcome to Japanese.
Yay!
But, yeah, I love One Piece. I love talking about One Piece.
I like talking about One Piece with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have internalized nearly as much of these conversations. I would have been disassociating all of those conversations. But clearly, you had my full attention.
Which is why I'm, like, always, like, read One Piece. He should read One Piece.
But also don't force myself, because I want to internalize it all.
Yeah, because I like when you were reading One Piece and we had those talks, like, oh, you read this, this, and this, huh? What'd you think of this? Or, oh, I loved that moment. I liked.
That's also why I like that too, because I don't want to call myself a skeptic, but like since I'm not like a full believer, there's those moments where I'm like, oh, I kind of said this like in a way last week to a different manga. Oh, that rose above what I expected. Oh, I didn't think this character would be thinking that far ahead, and that should happen in One Piece too. That should happen in Alabasta and Skypiea. Skypiea was tough, but there were some really good moments in it.
Yeah, I really, like you said too, you really like the Nolan flashback.
I love the Nolan flashback. I loved all of the interactions with locals and the local level stuff. Funny enough, what sucked about Skypiea was the fights. All of them. And that was one of the better fights. It's all of those generals below him. I'm the ball guy. I'm the ring guy. I'm the guy that rides an animal.
Yeah, I think that
all set with all of that.
Yeah, the Enel's underlings are lackluster, but I really like Enel himself.
I like Enel himself. The fight was funny. But like what I was sitting here like this for is like the story with like the girl and her dad like on like the edge of the cloud, finding out how their like society works, this weird feudalism Enel has done to them. Like that's why I'm like, this is good. And then it's like, oh shit, I'm eaten by a snake for 5 chapters. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I think that Enel is good too in the sense that he's what brought hockey into One Piece, kind of.
He's when
Oda was
Enel, like,
Enel was
the implications
what
of Enel's being so overpowered.
Well, because Enel, you can argue, is the first. Well, maybe not the first, but the first of advanced observation.
Technically, I actually said that the wrong way. It's Enel being so ineffective to Luffy that made Haki needed.
Kind of. Because that's basically Logia's only weakness, is having another weakness. So, like, Ace, is fire.
Otherwise, it would turn into Pokemon.
You would need a water Logia to be able to defeat Ace. And Luffy, being rubber, would never be able to beat Ace.
Yeah.
So you needed some other way to nerf Logias.
And to be fair, I don't even like that in Pokemon, so I definitely don't want that to be the entire system.
Now, it makes sense because, like, Crocodile is made of sand, but if you get him wet, you're going to be able to hit him.
Yeah, like, it worked really good then,
sense.
but it'll hit the point it's unsustainable. Or too hard to sustain.
Exactly, and, like, lightning against rubber makes perfect sense, because if Luffy wasn't made of rubber, NL fucking
mollywops him with a thought.
Over him, yeah. And then... But then you get into, like, Smoker. Look how unstoppable Smoker was.
Luffy would never be able to survive Smoker if Haki didn't happen. Like, survive. He would just nuke Luffy's life.
The moment Haki did happen, Smoker became irrelevant in the story and hasn't been relevant since.
It's all he had.
Pre-time skip Smoker is a menace, and we love him. Post-time skip Smoker, what happened to my bro?
It makes me so sad because a lot of those great moments, him and Alabasta, mwah. Just the way he acted towards the Straw Hats, like seeing the good in them, even for just a moment. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Fujitora fills that role later on, too.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. I feel like almost in a sense Garp does, too. I mean, he's like family, you know what I mean? But he's
Garp's
also...
weird about it, though.
He's also a good guy that sees the good in Luffy. But yeah, I mean, clearly he's also still opposed.
He's a conflicted man because he also sat there and watched his other grandson Ace get executed, or was going to get left.
I feel like if anything, he's closer to leaving the Marines than staying loyal, if that were the case. But from the outside looking in.
Yeah, it's weird because, again, so it's like Garp's sense of justice, because that's the whole thing about Marines, is like the admirals all have a sense of justice, like Kizaru's lazy justice. No.
I'd believe it.
No, he's uncertain justice, because I think Kuzan is lazy justice. And then fucking Akainu is fucking like...
fascism justice.
Yeah, basically.
Militaristic justice, to put it more succinctly.
Yes, basically.
Like...
Might.
Kizaru's is the scariest then, just based on description. Nothing is scarier than not being certain of what will happen to you.
He's a good guy at heart, but at the same
Cruelty
time,
you can predict. Yeah. Cruelty you can work within. You can't work within uncertainty. Humans do not want to be uncertain. It's distressful.
Yeah. Well, that's why they say in the wild the most dangerous thing you can run into is a human.
Because we're not predictable.
Yeah.
An animal can't piece together the logic that makes us do the things that we do.
You run into a wolf, you know exactly what you're dealing with. The wolf is going to try to kill you, and you know what will and will not get you away from the wolf.
Generally speaking.
Generally speaking.
Same with, like, bears. Like, there's there's research on this. There's, like, backed up with,
And most predators...
You can fulfill the need they're about to attack you for in some way.
Well, also, too, most predators won't risk injury for something, because an injury to them means death.
And that just means making them consider you dangerous. Like the going, hey bear, and making yourself look big can work on a bear.
Absolutely. Like, just like, I watched a video the other day, a bear jumps into an enclosure with a fucking tiny ass little pig thing in there. And the pig scares the shit out of the bear, and he runs the fuck away. Because if a bear gets hurt, he's dead. Because now, maybe in that situation, adrenaline gets him out of it, but now he's hurt. He can't go hunt anything else.
And he's hungrier because adrenaline comes at a cost. That's still, like, if you run on adrenaline, that's still calories.
But now maybe not going to work with a wolf, because the wolf knows, okay, you're coming at me, but what you don't know is that my boys are over there, and over there.
Yeah, you don't fuck with the wolves. That's the other thing with humans is we can come back from really serious injuries. We have medicine, we have doctors, we have
I also found it
knowledge.
funny too, is because I heard a thing too, because we're endurance hunters, and no other predator is. We have the endurance, like, yeah, you'll outrun us in a sprint, but in a marathon, a human will win.
That makes sense.
It's always the scariest thing in the world, because that animal, because we're tracking you down, right? And the animal runs away, and then it stops. And all of a sudden, it looks over at the horizon, and there comes this weird, skinny little bipedal thing with a fucking piece of a sharp stick in his hand. Yep, running over the thing, running at us. So now that thing's got to get up and sprint away again. Then all it knows it's down, it's tired again, and it looks over. There it is again.
It's the power of being more generalized of a being. Like, no, we're not the fastest. No, we're not the
strongest,
most inherently, like, damaging. Like, we don't got claws. Our fangs are kind of small. But it's like you spread out all of that talent across those areas, and it gets it further. And brains.
We're the smartest.
Yes. And thumbs. If dolphins had thumbs, we might actually have someone give us a run for our money.
Maybe.
Over time. You don't immediately give a being thumbs and they bridge all of this gap, but the beginnings of knowledge are there.
Thumbs.
Yeah. And monkeys, though, they know how to steal.
I think
like
that
a motherfucker.
Yeah, they do. I think that
they understand value. They understand using tools. That's what I mean. Like, you give something a thumb.
People are saying that. I think scientists are saying that chimpanzees are starting to enter the Stone Age.
See, that doesn't surprise me. Brains are one of the biggest difference between us and animals, yes, but thumbs is another one of those gigantic difference makers. The ability to hold and use tools is so insanely OP.
Because you can teach monkeys to use tools.
Yeah, you can teach them simple reasoning and logic, too.
But not only that, there's video someone saw of out in the wild, a monkey hanging from a branch with a spear, a long stick, stabbing it into the water to get fish.
Based. Eventually, they're going to be stabbing that into people that entrench on their territory.
The monkeys. Monkeys are fucking vicious.
Even thumbless creatures, like crows, are getting really fucking crazy lately. Like, the whole research that crows can pass down their grudges to their children.
Yeah.
So if you fuck with a crow, they can literally teach their children to keep hating you. That's fucking nuts. What's the end result of that? Crow wars? Like, they'll keep evolving, getting smarter along those lines. That's still dangerous, man. Yeah. My thumbs aren't gonna swan away birds, plucking my eyeballs out. But hey,
at least it's that hatred's towards one specific human, so it's like, okay.
They have morals, at least. Yeah. I could befriend a crow, and it might protect me someday.
Well, that's what it is, too. If you befriend a crow and you give it something or whatever, it'll fucking fuck with your enemies.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love crows.
Crows are badass.
I mean, we underestimate animals sometimes as a species. They're growing in the ways that they can grow still too. And stuff like dolphins, monkeys, birds that have like some sort of intelligence there, that they could get dangerous. I forgot what it was. I think it was whales that taught themselves to start ramming boats, like whaling boats.
It's still, and it makes sense, but it's still so baffling to me that in all the history with dinosaurs and shit, that the blue whale is the largest animal to have ever lived. And he lives with us. It's not some...
This isn't prehistoric like all the other ones. This isn't ancient history or myth.
Now, it's probably the largest one found, because I'm sure there's some kind of sea dinosaur that is going to be
something
bigger.
In the Marianas Trench, some sort of gigantic version of a shark, some sort of fucking megalodon, something. Or like a big land creature that fell into there or something.
Maybe it's just because I've never seen a blue whale in person to know how just massively humongous they are. But I always, because it's like, I see dinosaurs now in like comparison to other things, and I'm like, as a child, or just my whole life, I just assumed that dinosaurs were bigger than they actually were.
I feel like a nice average sized blue whale, maybe an actually bigger blue whale, would absolutely fill more than the space of this room.
Oh, it's bigger than my house.
I didn't even know that. See, yeah. That's okay. That's fucking insane. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like trying to cram all of that volume into here.
You ever see those like in games or movies or TVs when you got that boat that's swimming through and it shows this huge sea monster go under it and it's bigger than the boat?
Yeah.
That's the blue whale to like normal like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, apparently fucking I'm gonna fucking.
Imagine that shit ramming your boat.
Yeah, you're sinking.
Again, it was like doing it with its young ones too. Like it was literally teaching them to fight off whaling boats.
So there's a blue whale at the top and a bus at the bottom.
Oh my god.
You know, casually just 3.5 fucking 2.5 buses long.
Not including high, thick, like.
Yeah.
Man, I should start watching Tier Zoo. He tier lists animals as if they're like fighting game characters, but as like nature stats. Jesus.
What's gonna do it for me then is if he puts the tiger below anything else.
I'm not having the tiger-lion debate ever again. I've had it so many times on Twitter. I'm never going back.
Which side do you want?
I'm not sure if I want to say.
Because I'm on the tiger side all the way. Because especially because male lions don't really do much, but the tiger's bigger, is heavier.
I feel like faster. We're having the debate.
Yeah, we are having the debate because fucking the tiger is the king of the jungle.
Then I'm on the tiger side.
The lion, the lion is the king of the savannah. All right, never call the fucking lion the king of the jungle because lions.
So what you're telling
are not
me
in the
then?
jungle.
What you're telling me is the tiger needs the safety and security of trees to hide in to get its prey, while the based lion can see something across a flat plain and be like, "Yep, that's mine," and take it.
No, the tiger's.
I'm still on the tiger side. I don't want to have this debate at all.
Yeah.
Some people tried throwing cheetah in here, and I laughed.
I laugh at that too. Cheetah's good at running away.
And being sad.
But if you put a cheetah or a lion or a tiger in a room together where the cheetah can't run away, the lion's like 3 times its weight.
Easily.
Yeah. Another one people don't...
Again, like, sometimes cheetahs get too sad and lonely to live. Literally, they have, like, anxiety issues in containment.
Just because... The reason I say this is because the cats, felines, are the most successful and, like, the greatest predator alive today. Oh, and the apex of the cat is the tiger. And the only thing that
Debatable.
The only thing that you're gonna try and say is better than a tiger is a lion or a grizzly bear. And I think that a lion or a fucking tiger takes... Well, actually...
Crocodile. They're all apex predators. Yeah. All of these listed above ones are apex predators.
You know what actually takes them all out? The fucking hippo.
Yeah, good. Yep, that's the one. This is what I mean. You should watch Tier Zoo.
No.
I should watch Tier Zoo. I've only watched like a video. Yeah, the hippo's a monster. I've seen that thing crush a watermelon with 0 resistance in its mouth.
Yeah. I think they just straight up have the...
That's how they feed them. They literally just throw a whole watermelon in their mouth.
Yeah.
And thanks. Nom, nom, nom.
I think they have the hardest bite force of any land animal. I would feel like the blue whale would probably take it in the way up the ocean.
I don't even know if it has technically bite force because I don't even think they have teeth. Like, isn't it bristles that break down their food? They just open their mouth wide and let stuff in.
Yeah, and just swallow it whole.
Yeah, so no, I think the hippo probably has the greatest bite force in the world.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. There's probably something at the bottom of the Marianas Trench that fucking's got it too. All that pressure down there, you know what I mean?
Fun, scary news then. Since you know so much about science and
biology. You're talking about the anglerfish that swam up. But the thing, I heard about that too. But then someone's like, yeah, it's only like this big though.
Yeah, duh. They're not even supposed to be that high. We shouldn't see any anglerfish at that level, no matter what size they are.
Yeah. So we were talking about it. It's like, my buddy at work, he's like, so why do you think you came up there? I was like, I don't know. Got lost, was curious, or was running away from something.
Or there's not enough oxygen getting down to the bottom of the ocean would be my guess. But I am guessing. I'm no scientist here.
No. I didn't look up any story.
That's such a bad sign. There's something making it less habitable in some way in the environment it's supposed to be in. They're never supposed to be that high.
I assume it died.
I'm pretty sure it died. I don't know for sure.
Pressure.
Yeah, it's literally completely tailor-made to build. If it didn't die just from being up there, it's not fit to survive those layers of ocean. Like, the things that can get to it are actually just way scarier than it. Yeah. It's a scary-looking thing. It's not a shark.
Well, this goes back to my thing about the blue whale being the biggest discovered animal of all time, because
we don't know what's down there.
We know what 80% of the entire ocean floor is unmapped.
Yeah, I think I heard it from a marine biologist. He says we just find new species every day, and they're not even diving to the Marianas Trench. He says, like, I could probably just point to an area of water and I will find a new species there if I spend my time there.
Yeah. There's so much under that fucking water.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then so much, too, that it's like you couldn't ever possibly find it because it's so open and vast. It's like...
It goes back to the, like, what you know, what you know you don't know, and then there's the layer of things that you don't even know you don't know.
It's like our information of the thing is like the equivalent of taking a cup of water, scooping it out of the ocean, saying, oh, there's no fish in this cup, there's no fish in the sea.
Yeah, pretty much. It's very similar to space. Obviously, space is way, way bigger, way, way depthier, but it's similar.
Yes. Similar analogy. Because actually, I think that's where I got that analogy from. Someone says...
I think that was literally Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I've heard him say that.
Saying there's no life in space is like saying that there's no... Taking a cup and saying there's no fish in the ocean because you found none in your cup.
Yes. And I do appreciate Neil's nerdiness. I do appreciate Neil when he's talking about what he loves. I do wish he could learn to be 5% more fun of a person or get off Twitter. He has said some of the most dull boomer shit on Twitter I've ever seen. Well, actually, it can't rain men.
Yeah, he's not fun with things.
No. But I do appreciate him for what he...
You know who I actually really like, too? If you're looking for any kind of space or science stuff.
What's your blue moon?
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox. I'll keep that in mind.
I actually hated him when he first started coming around because he was on... First time I found him was on Joe Rogan Experience. He's been on a few times now. But the first one he was ever on, he talks very quietly.
Oh, God.
When he first came around, but he's learned to project his voice. Good. But when he first came around, anytime I felt like I was always pressing my volume button up and up and up, even though it was maxed out, just to try to hear him fucking talk better. But no, he's like my favorite science dude now, right now.
I'll keep that in mind.
Super smart. But I think that's a good place to wrap her up.
I concur.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So, when we meet back here on our momentous day of episode 300. To 300.
Holy shit, bro.
I mixed two things together.
You're optimistic.
Episode 100.
I like it.
Yes. Episode 100, which will be... Oh, it's not 3 days. It's 2 days before Monster Hunter Wilds.
Which will probably be... The episode after Wilds comes out will probably be the longest we ever stay on a singular topic on this entire podcast.
It might just be Monster Hunter Wilds, the episode.
Yeah, I like that title already.
It might just be, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. We'll see you guys next week. Maybe we'll have something planned. Maybe we won't. Don't get your hopes up. I don't have my hopes up.
I don't have my hopes up. I'm just happy with making every episode better.
Agreed. And we're getting... That's a milestone, man. 100 podcast episodes.
That is.
I'm happy. You're happy. We're all happy.
A lot of things in my life I don't have that kind of follow-through with. I do take some pride in that, God damn it.
But thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you next week.
And if you don't know, check us out on YouTube now.
Yes, we're on YouTube. Every episode.
Every episode.
Our entire backlog has been uploaded, and as soon as it goes live on here, it's live. Within a day or two, it's on YouTube after.
Oh, I think it's like literally the same day. Also, I could be mistaken, but like I'm pretty sure when I checked my analytics that night that we both posted our episodes, they were both there on YouTube.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, so at most 1 day later.
Yes.
Leave comment, like, subscribe.
Yes. But it's been the Dukes of Weepdown. Episode 99. Take care, y'all.
Peace.